welcome back to The Report. It's time to tackle a viewer question in our Genesis Science Q&A. This week's submission comes from @DQ73 on Instagram, who asks, what rebuttal can we give to theistic evolutionists who agree with evolution but say humans indeed were created 6,000 years ago, while the Earth was created billions of years ago? Thank you for your ministry. Thanks for the question, DQ. I would challenge those people. Can you be a theist? In other words, can you believe in the God of the Bible without believing in the Bible itself? You see, the historical record in the Bible gives very specific detail as to the creation account, which would indicate that each day of creation is a literal day. But more than that, if we have animals that are living and dying for millions of years before humans were created, well, then that means that billions of creatures had lived and died long before sin entered into the world. But God said that death is the result of the first sin event in the garden. So was He lying? We also have to consider the words of Jesus in Matthew 25, which actually connected the very creation of the world, the origin of time itself, the beginning, with the origin of Adam and Eve, the creation of the first man and woman, when He said, "Have ye not read that He which made them at the beginning," there's Genesis 1:1, "made them male and female." So it's all part of this creation event, a week of creation where the universe, mankind, all of the animals were created. It's hard to separate those two events or to say that there are billions and billions of years perhaps separating those two events, and yet mankind was somehow created 6,000 years ago and everything's run since then. So we love connecting with our viewers. I want you to remember to keep these questions coming. This is so enlightening because we like addressing the questions that you have each week on the program. You can share them with us on social media, or you can email comments at genesissciencenetwork.com. For those interested in this week's Q&A topic, be sure to check out this week's featured resource, The Great Turning Point, the Church's catastrophic mistake on geology before Darwin. Now, in this eye-opening book, my friend Dr. Terry Mortenson digs into the early 19th century, a time when the Church began to compromise on the age of the earth. He explores how the idea of millions of years was introduced and how it gradually reshaped all of Christian thought, eventually laying the groundwork for the rise of Darwin's theory on evolution. Through a detailed research-based narrative, The Great Turning Point shows how Christian scientists, that's not Christian scientists, those are theologians and Christians who happen to study science, known as scriptural geologists, actively resisted these new ideas. They stood firm in defending a young earth, showing that the belief in millions of years was not really rooted in science, but actually in secular philosophy. Now, this book is a fascinating exploration of the forgotten history behind the geological theories that we many times take for granted today. And it's perfect for anyone interested in how the Church's early missteps on geology led to broader acceptance of secular evolution-based ideas. You can find your copy of The Great Turning Point by visiting the Creation Superstore or online at creationsuperstore.com.